In this video, I'm going to show you how to prompt and train an AI sales agent so that it actually sounds human and performs for your business. Now, the main thing that I like to use AI sales agents for is for texting-based follow-up, because most businesses never text their leads, and if they do, it's very inconsistent. And from all the data that I've gathered working with clients in over 20 different industries, sending thousands and thousands of text messages to their prospects and helping them generate over hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue for them, texting has been by far the best method of communication. And so that's what we'll go over here in this video. Now, if this is your first introduction to AI sales agents, where we're going to start is with ChatGPT, something that everybody knows. And we're going to go about prompting an AI sales agent that qualifies a business's leads over text and then schedules them in for a sales appointment. And so just to show you that this works in literally any industry, I'm going to have ChatGPT pick a random business for me. So I'm going to type into ChatGPT, I'm going to say randomly select any business that has a booked appointment sales process. Just one. All right, and so we'll do solar for this example. And here's how we'll start off. So we're gonna switch the model from 4.0, we're gonna go find 4.0 mini. And the reason why we select 4.0 mini is because it is one of the most powerful yet cheapest models, which is important for when we scale this AI sales agent to all of the incoming leads. And so the whole goal of creating and building AI sales agents is prompting them so good in a way where you can scale this operation to hundreds, thousands of leads and keep your costs very low when it comes to AI usage. And so let's go ahead and let's build this prompt. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to assign the AI sales agent a role. And so if you can see this right here, this hashtag, that just stands for an H1 header. If you do 2 hashtags, that'll be an H2 header, right? That's just how I like to format my prompting for this. And now let's give it direction. So let's say your job is to qualify leads over SMS for solar installation services. You will complete your job by asking questions related to the qualified prospect section, which we will build in a moment. If a user doesn't follow conversational direction, default to your NEPQ training to keep them engaged. And so the great thing about building AI sales agents, especially with ChatGPT, is ChatGPT already has a great knowledge base on a lot of sales trainings. Now, I happen to like NEPQ by Jeremy Miner the best. To me, when we're texting prospects, it just sounds the most fluid, but you can replace this with any other sales training that you're accustomed to that ChatGPT has a knowledge base on. And ChatGPT has a lot of knowledge on NEPQ, which is why I use it here, because you don't have to give it any additional resources, documents, etc. Okay, now let's start another section. We'll do an H2 header and we'll put your output style. So this is how we want the AI's tone, right, and how to sound. So let's say casual messaging, conversational, and you can even put your country's dialect in here. So for example, I'm in the USA, so you can put dialect, USA dialect. This output style, you want to tailor to your specific industry, your specific brand voice, etc. Now let's go with another H2 header. We're going to say your training. And so this one's going to be NEPQ by Jeremy Miner. And you can also give it industry-specific training, which ChatGPT has a big knowledge base on. So right here, I can just put solar installation sales. All right, next, let's do another H1 header and let's build out the qualified prospect section. So let's first start off with the first message that we'll be sending a prospect. And let's just pretend like this is an old lead. And so we're going to be using this on a lead that expressed interest, let's say 3 months ago. So we might want to say something like, hey, this is Ashley from the front desk of ABC Solar. Is this the same? And right here, you would put the custom value of the contact name in your CRM. If you're going to hook this up to your CRM, so that would look something like this, contact first name. But for the sake of this example, I'm just going to put my name here so you can see me interacting with it back and forth. Is this the same Dom that got a solar quotes from us in the last couple months, right? So just a hand raiser first message. The goal here is just to get a prospect to text back. And then what I like to do here is I like to add a note and say something like, be intuitive when they respond, because prospects may hit you with any type of message after that first message. And especially with old leads, you don't want the AI sticking directly to this prompt that you give it. You want it to be able to think on its feet, where if somebody responds negative or they ask a specific type of question, it doesn't just go to the next qualifying question right here in the prompt. And this will help ensure that the conversation stays naturally flowing. And then we'll say something like, if they're unqualified, politely say something that ends the conversation. Because we don't want the AI to continuously text back unqualified people, which will just eat up your AI usage cost. Even though it's super cheap to do this on the 4.0 mini model, you still don't want that happening. And then we'll say something like, if it seems they are interested in a solar installation, quotes, proceed with the next logical question. And then I just like to throw one more thing in here. Be sure to acknowledge what they say before asking a question. This will help make it sound much more like a regular human conversation as opposed to just the AI firing out questions and making it seem like a robotic interrogation. All right, now the next thing that we're gonna do is add our qualifying questions. Now, I don't know a whole lot about solar, so I'm just gonna put a couple qualifying questions in here, but I know one of them would be, do you own your home or are you renting? And I know another one would be something like, around how much is your monthly electricity bill? And so what you want to do here is put in your qualifying questions as it relates to your business. I would not recommend adding more than 5 questions here because we want people to convert as fast as possible. And we want to get them over to a sales appointment as fast as possible. And especially if you have application questions before they can even book a sales appointment, then you want to keep these qualifications right here very brief. All right, and so let's just put a note in here. Let me put it in parentheses. Note, if they do not own their home, they are unqualified. Okay, so now let's go and set them up for an appointment. So let's say something like, if qualified, let them know we can help them and we'll give them the very best service in Florida, right? Whatever your USP is right here, go ahead and put that there. This is obviously just a very basic one. Then we'll say, then ask if they'd like to schedule an appointment with an advisor. Next line, if they say yes, be sure to send them this exact calendar link. And then just put in your calendar right here, abcsolar.com/schedule. All right, so now the qualified prospect section is done. Let's just make sure to give it some rules so that we can help ensure that the AI always stays on track with the conversation. So one of the first rules that I like to input is only ask one question at a time to find out one piece of information. Then another one we can put is utilize, how do you spell utilize? Utilize your NEPQ training to navigate through objections and guide your interaction. Always use neutral language as NEPQ teaches. We could also remind the AI who they are. You are Ashley, working at the front desk of ABC Solar. And just as a side note here, female names get a higher response rate than male names. That has been proven by my testing over and over and over again. And another thing that I like to do is don't position the AI sales agent as the actual advisor. Position the AI sales agent as either front desk, assistant, somebody like that, especially if your business has more complicated questions that you want an actual human to answer. We don't want the AI thinking on its feet for more complicated questions. We want to make sure that we direct those specific types of questions to an actual advisor in the business. And so that'll bring us to our next rule right here. If a user asks a question that you haven't been provided an answer for, please default to telling them you work at the front office and they can schedule an appointment with an advisor who can better help them. We can also do this for if they ask for pricing, right? So if they ask for pricing, push them to speak to an advisor. And then one more rule I like to add is just to remind it, you will be provided with the messaging history. Ensure the conversation flows seamlessly and you do not repeat or contradict yourself. Then let's just add in some FAQs in case a prospect should ask. So remind the AI of your business. We are ABC Solar. Our website is abcsolar.com. They submitted their information into our website a few months ago, if this is an older lead. Our hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then one more thing I like to do for older leads is if they ask where we got their information, you must tell them you made an inquiry via our website. If you no longer wish to receive messages, reply quit. So just to give them that last out. All right, and now this entire prompt is done. And so when you do this on your own with ChatGPT, what you'll do is go to the bottom of the prompt, create a couple line breaks and say, above are your directions. Let's role play. Pretend I am a prospect who submitted their information for a quote a few months ago. Start with your first message. And then you're just gonna message this AI back and forth, and I'll do it a little bit for you here in this demonstration. But this is what's going to allow you to see how powerful that AI sales agents can be. Because I remember the very first time that I did this, back when I was working in sales, I started role playing with ChatGPT and it was giving me responses way better than I imagined. And so just imagine this AI sales agent now being able to have this type of conversation with hundreds, if not thousands of your leads at once. And so let's go through a little demo. So let me send the prompt over to ChatGPT. Make sure you're on the 4.0 mini model. And so you'll see right here, it hits us with the first question. Hey, this is Ashley from the front desk of ABC Solar. Is this the same Dom that got a solar quote from us in the last couple of months? Yes, it is. All right, great. And now it's going to go over into the first qualification question. So I will say I own. Around how much is your electricity bill per month? $200 a month. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It sounds like we can definitely help you out. Would you like to schedule an appointment with one of our advisors to discuss your solar options? Sure. Awesome. You can schedule a time that works best for you right here. Boom, here's the calendar link. Looking forward to helping you with your solar needs. So perfect interaction. And that's what we want. Quick, to the point, get them scheduled. Because when you deploy this to, hundreds, thousands of leads, that's how you want it to be. And that's what's going to help fill yours or your sales team's calendar in the quickest amount of time possible. When you're done going through this role play exercise, you can also do things like start the conversation over with your first message. Clear your memory of this role play. So now it's going to start with the first question again, and now you can start throwing objections to it. How did you get my number? Perfect. It gave us the response that we put in the FAQ section. You can say something like, no, that's okay, but why are you contacting me? Just following up to see if you're still interested in exploring solar options. We'd love to help save on your electricity bill. Would you be interested in chatting with one of our advisors? Right, so pretty good objection handle. Not the best. I don't really like how it says following up here. And so you can always just go back into the rules section of the prompt and put something in like never say the words follow up, something like that. But that's how you go about optimizing the prompts to your liking as it relates to your business. And so the way to really perfect this is just continue role playing within ChatGPT, make sure you're on the 4.0 mini model, and give it whatever questions or whatever objections you think your prospects are going to give, and then scroll up and continuously update this prompt right here until you get to the point where every question that you ask, it's giving you the response that you want. And then once you go through this exercise, then you're going to integrate it with your CRM so that it can actually message your prospects back and forth, and we can take this conversation out of ChatGPT. So if you want the shortcut on how to do that, you can go ahead and check out the description below, or watch this video if you want to learn how to build all of the automations and infrastructure that you would need to bring this AI sales agent to life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.